Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, my friends, family. How y'all doing out there tonight on this March 1st, 2024? Okay, so peace in. All right. Thank you for tuning in for another episode of On the Cutting Room Floor. I'm your host, Tony Harvey. This is presented by Publicity Agents. We're telecasting here at Black Magic Ink Studios, Greenhaven, Pocket area. And you know why I'm here tonight. That's right. Sacramento Kings won in overtime, 124 to 120 over the Minnesota Timberwolves at the Target Center in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Yes, the number one team in the NBA Western Conference, the Minnesota Timberwolves. The Kings walked away with a 124-120 win on the road. Okay, behind the heroics. Okay. Malik Monk, he had 39 points tonight. 35 points in the second half. He got out. So did the team as a whole. And from my understanding, that helps the Kings out a lot. They move up one spot from 8th to 7th in the NBA Western Conference. And what I've been telling myself and I've been telling everyone else, hey, why don't you do yourself a favor and play in? Just play in. And what I mean by playing in, play yourself out of the play in. And play in to the playoff position of 1 through 6 in the NBA Western Conference. Because it's not going to do you any good down there in the 7th and 8th spot. Because to play in, I don't trust you. I do not trust you at this point. But I do appreciate that win tonight that you got in the Midway. Okay? In Minneapolis. Needed that. And you did it without De'Aaron Fox, who set out his second straight game. You know, he have a left knee contusion that he suffered from the Miami Heat game here when they played a Golden One Center. Of course, they lost that game. And he played the game after that. He didn't play in the Denver Nuggets game. Of course, they lost that game. But tonight they win. They play again here in Sacramento at Golden One Center at the G1C. Chicago Bulls, March 4th, Monday. But tonight, are we surprised? No, we are not surprised. Okay, we know this team to do this. Now, they did it this time without De'Aaron Fox, but we know, okay, we are familiar with this team performing well against the high-level elite teams, such as the Minnesota Timberwolves, which has the number one defense in the association. Okay. Sacramento King got past all of that. They even had a 14-point lead in the first half. Minnesota Timberwolves came back, but they survived that, and it was 115 at the end of regulation, and they took it in overtime, and Malik Monk went to work on that. Also, Trey Lyles. Okay, because Domantas Sabonis, he had fouled out. But let me tell you, Sacramento Kings, they improved to 34-25, 18-15 on the road. And as I mentioned, they move up one spot from 8 to number 7. So in the Western Conference. So the Western Conference looked like this at this point. Now we have some records here. 42-18, Minnesota. 41-18, Oklahoma City. Denver Nuggets, 41-19. Clippers, 37-20. So those top three teams I just mentioned, Minnesota, Oklahoma City, and Denver, they're jockeying for a position right now to see who's going to have the best record in the NBA Western Conference and who will have home court advantage throughout the playoffs. So it's getting pretty tight right there with those three alone. The Clippers are 37-20. Phoenix Suns, 35-24. New Orleans Pelicans, 36-25. Kings, 34-25, 9 games over 500. And the Mavericks, 34-26. Golden State Warriors, 9th spot, 32-27. And the Lakers, the LA Lakers, at 33-28. So it's going to be some crazy movement going on here in the next 6 weeks of this last stretch. And I know for one thing, Kings got to pull out every single win that they can, because after they played the Chicago Bulls here Monday, they traveled to the LA Lakers on the 6th. So that'll be Wednesday. After that contest, they have 6 home games. They have a 6-game homestand. A 6-game homestand. So that means 7 of your next 8 games are at home. You can really make some improvements during this stretch. You're going to need all those wins. Even the one with the Lakers. I don't care. Get that one 2 on the road. Just to ensure, your position in this tight, wild, wild west. Tight, wild, wild west. As I mentioned, so the Timberwolves, they fall to 42-18, 22-7 at home. 22-7 at home. And 2 of those losses are by the Kings. So the Kings have beaten them in the Target Center 2 times this season. Of course, Timberwolves came back and they got one here at Golden One recently. Matter of fact, their star player, Anthony Edwards, he played in the first half. He scored 11 points, but then he came up missing in the second half. He had to leave for personal reasons. And from my understanding, by listening to the local telecast that was airing from Minnesota, I think it's some paternity type thing. So he's got a baby on the way. So maybe the baby's close to being born. So God bless and peace on that too for a healthy baby, Anthony Edwards, if that is the case. I'm just reporting that out. All right. So yes, they beat them 2 times on the season out of 3 tries so far. So hey, and plus the Kings stopped their 2-game losing streak. So I got to give them credit for that, and I got to give Mike Brown and his coaching staff credit for holding everything together the way things been looking. I don't know any other team across the league, especially in the NBA Western Conference, that have been having a crazy season such as the Sacramento Kings. And I've been meaning to point out those lousy losses. Okay, so hopefully you can put all that behind you, because it was mentioned at the end of the game that they had a player-only meeting, so they had to hash out some things amongst themselves. And look what they did tonight. They played together. I mean, there was a lot of great performances that happened tonight. Davion Mitchell had 16 points. He hit his first 5 shots. He ended the game, 7 of 8 from shooting from the 7 of 8 shooting from the floor. That helped out a lot too. Okay, Trey Lyles didn't put up any big numbers, a crazy number, but in that overtime frame, he made some significant contributions that had to be helped. A couple rebounds. He missed 1 or 2 free throws, but one of them happened to be the game-winning free throw in overtime. And he got a block somewhere else like that. DeMontis had fouled out. He fouled out at the 3:58 mark of overtime. And then Mike Brown, okay, he elected to insert Trey Lyles, to play the small ball role, okay? Because at this point, they're dealing with Karl Anthony Towns and Rudy Gobert for the Timberwolves. So it was a perfect call. It was a perfect move of what they did, because Trey Lyles came up big. Now, the free throws still kind of crazy. These cats shot 54% from the free throw line tonight. They were 13 for 24. Out of 24 attempts, you only made 13, and they still won the game. So if they had lost this game that way, of course, it would have been a lot of talk about that now. There's still a lot of talk about it now. Come on, make your free throws. Don't you guys want to be a good or a great free throw shooting team at any point in the season. All right. And you could tell it was pressure. Malik Monk in that last stretch of the overtime, he missed 2 key free throws that could have extended the lead. They were already up 123-120. Okay. He missed 2 free throws. I think on the last 40 seconds or something like that. Okay. They was lucky to hang on, with their defense to get the ball back. Trey Lyles, and he got fouled. He goes up. He got a shot at making 2 free throws. He missed the first one on the front end of the first one. Okay, on the back end, he makes the second one. So he missed 3 straight free throws, but he still won the game. But oh my gosh, yeah, that was crazy. That was crazy. Anyway, let's get back, to some of the great things that happened. Of course, there was no Fox. Didn't pretty much have to use him tonight. Hopefully he'll be back for the Chicago Bulls game. But Malik scored 39 points. He had 39 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal. He was 16 for 29 shooting from the field. He made 5 3-pointers. He made 5 3-pointers in 3-point territory out of 8 attempts. He only had 4 points in the first half. And he did all of this in 33 minutes. And he had a career high of attempts, 29 shots that I just mentioned too as well. But get this man his money. Cut him his check. Okay, you can't let him go after this season. Okay, he'll be coming off a 2-year deal, I think worth about $19 million. So that'd be what? $9 million per for the 2 seasons. He did his work. Okay. And the fans love him. He's a big offensive juggernaut coming off the bench. Offer a lot of energy when he comes off the bench. He's one of the highest scoring reserves in the league. He's in the running for the 6th man of the year. Whether he gets it or not, pay this man. I haven't seen this much excitement coming from the 6th man since Bobby Jackson. And we all know what Bobby Jackson meant to this organization. To this day. To this day. To this day. Okay? Pay this man. He deserves it. He certainly deserves it because he's been working his tail off. All right? Malik, you delivered, bro. You delivered. Domantas Sabonis, he recorded his 42nd straight double-double, which is a franchise record, and it'll continue to be that way. He had 21 points, 15 rebounds, 8 assists, and 3 blocks. I think he got all 3 of those blocks in the first half. He's been playing some defense, folks. It was 7 for 14 shooting from the field. He made a tray, his only tray that he shot in 3-point territory. But he was 6 for 10 shooting from the free throw line, from the charity stripe. He's been shooting about 75% in the last 10, 11 games. He's been one of the bright spots. So this was kind of surprising that he only shoots 60% tonight. Later on, he fouled out. Okay, that really didn't have anything to do with it. But, I mean, you sitting up there missing those free throws. I mean, don't you guys want to be a great free throw shooting team or a good free throw shooting team? I'll say that a million times. Keegan Murray, 17 points, 5 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steals, 1 block. He was all over on defense. If anything, he did all this in 42 minutes. But whatever they did to convince this man that, he could be a 2-way player during the offseason, last season, has absolutely worked because the coaching staff got him hitting on all cylinders right now. I know at times, it affects his offensive game, but we don't have to worry about that because he'll learn that part too, to balance that out. Where you can be consistent on that end. He was 7-15 shooting from the field tonight. Made his one and only tray out of 3 attempts, and he made both his free throws. So the last 3 games he's been doing well because he had 21 points in a game that they lost in Denver and stuff. Davion Mitchell, 16 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists in 25 minutes. Okay, made 7 of his 8 attempts. from the field, 2 for 2 from the free throws, but he made his first 5 shots. It was everybody, it was all hands on deck tonight, okay? And he definitely showed up to help his team out tonight. Good job, Davion Mitchell. I appreciate that. Okay, Harrison Barnes, 14 points. Keon Ellis. He started in place of Davion Mitchell. Okay, he had 2 points, 7 assists, 1 block, 4 steals. 4 steals. And in this game, I think they had some like 19-0 and fast break points. The Kings, that is. And what I was seeing that as far as, the defense was creating that. It was a lot of steals that was converted into points on the fast break. Okay, there was one that Keon, he had got a steal, and then they got off on the break, and he served Malik with a alley-oop. Okay, matter of fact, Malik probably had a couple of steals that he turned into fast break points too. Okay, so it was a lot of one-man fast break stuff that was going on. I know Mike Brown liked that. I know he's the 50-50 guy when it comes to those steals, but these steals that these guys have been coming up, they've been converting them into points. And that's really good. If you want to make that part of your identity, hey, be my guest, Sacramento Kings, because you look good in that area. Look really, really great in that area. I did mention Trey Lyles. He had 3 points. He had 5 rebounds, but he had like 2 or 3 key rebounds towards the end that really, really helped out this team. He had 2 assists and 1 block. Okay. He did his job. He made his money tonight. Good job. One of the unsung heroes tonight. The Kings shot, they made 50 out of 100 shots from the field, 50%, 11 for 29 in three-point territory. And then the free throws. They made 13 of 24 from the charity stripe. Okay. They had 62 bench points. And I'm talking about Malik's 39 points and Davion Mitchell 16 points. So that was a big help. Ultra big help. Significant big help tonight coming from that bench. Because when that bench is doing these type of things on the offensive end and the defensive end, okay, the Kings' possibility of winning is extremely high when the bench is playing like this. It's a great job. It was an all-around effort, to tell you the truth. Everybody did their job. Kevin Herter too. I don't have his stats list right here, but I know he got a block on Rudy Gobert up under the basket, in that second half. He's been doing that. He gets those sneaky like blocks, you know what I'm saying? While he's guarding his man and the other guy might be close to him and trying to get a shot up, and he'll reach back and and swat that away and stuff. I kind of like that. Okay, we needed that tonight, Kevin. You guys needed that tonight, so I appreciate what you're doing on that end. Yeah. So the Sacramento Kings, they win tonight, 124-120. Overtimes over the Minnesota Timberwolves in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Jaden McDaniels, going to be a great two-way player in this league. He had 26 points, 7 rebounds, 1 assist, but he was 9-11 shooting from the floor. He made 5 three-pointers, and he was 3 for 4 for the free throw line in 44 minutes. I really like this young man. They got some defensive weapons on the squad. There's a reason why they're the number 1 defensive team in the league. I mean, their defensive rating is like at 107, something like that. You're going to win a lot of ball games that way. Okay, that's their identity, and they have a lot of good players too. Carl Anthony Towns, 19 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal, 36 minutes. Rudy Gobert, 16 points, 16 rebounds, and 3 blocks. Mike Conley, the veteran, 14 points, 8 assists, 2 steals. And Naz Reid, who came off the bench. He's also a pretty decent defender himself. He had 18 points, 3 assists, and 7 rebounds. They really do have a nice squad. So Hey, look, it's a competition either way it go. You're going to have to face one of these guys, all of them. Okay. I'm not shying away from the Sacramento Kings playing the Denver Nuggets in the playoff. You don't do that. Okay. I'm not shying away from the Sacramento Kings playing the Minnesota Timberwolves in the playoff. You don't do that. Because you're going to have to face them at some point. And not only that, if you want to be the team that you want to be, go from good to great, these are the teams that you need to beat in the playoffs. And I don't care what up point that you have to face these teams. Beat them. Okay? I don't want to be here, they're not ready. They'll welcome them up. No. You don't think like that. You go in there and say, we have a chance to win this game just as much as anybody else. All right? That's what I learned about that Heat culture. When they step on the floor, they already said, we're not losing. So they don't care who they're playing. Whether it's a rinky-dinky team with an inferior record or the team with the best record in the league. That's how the Miami Heat operate. And they're so fundamentally sound when they do it. So with Jaime Jaquez did that. Well, I've been watching this cat for a few years and stuff. Okay? He did his 3 or 4 years, in college and came in with a high IQ. He didn't look like no rookie the other night when he was playing. Because of the Miami Heat culture. I don't hear all that. No, skip that. Okay. If at any point that Sacramento Kings have to face the Denver Nuggets in the playoffs, I feel like they will get them. They got that the other night. That's cool. Okay. That's cool. The same way we go with the Minnesota Timberwolves too. You can beat these guys. That's what you think about. Stop all being all that scaredy cat stuff and all that. I've been hearing a whole bunch of talk. Yeah, go on with that, man. That's crazy. All right? Oh, yeah. Okay, you can't be scared going into these things. Okay? And one of the Kings' problems is, everybody knows, is consistency. They played a really good game tonight. Now, all we have to look forward is, can they do it against Chicago? Because this team cannot be trusted. I have to say that. Okay? This team cannot be trusted. As good and talented as they are, they play down to these level of the competition. But I do have a little understanding that what we've been seeing through these games, what they got, 24 more games left, 23 more games left in the season, that they can handle these teams. They can handle these Minnesota Timberwolves and the Oklahoma Cities and stuff. Okay? I'm waiting on that rematch for New Orleans. They're definitely there to matchup nightmare and stuff, but you got to start somewhere. You can't be scared. You can't be no coward. Okay, you're in the association for a reason. So anyway, I'll just back up off of that. I just I had to put my little 2 cents on there, but I don't want to be hearing about all that stuff. Okay, you guys got a chance to beat these upper elite teams just like anyone else. Okay? And if you're not gonna get there to the top without beating these teams, okay, whether it's this season or next season, you got to do it. Stop acting like you're scared. Ain't the people? No, go on with that mess, man. Anyway, with all due respect, back to basketball. Well, we are already discussing that right now. So, Sacramento Kings. They play Chicago Bulls March 4th, this Monday. Golden One Center, travel to the Lakers on the 6th. Then they return for a 6-game homestand. They got the Spurs, Houston Rockets, Milwaukee Bucks, the Lakers, the New York Knicks, and Memphis. It's all laid out there. It's all laid out there. And remember, okay, play yourself out of the play-in. Play up the charts. Let's try to get that 6 spot. Got a lot of home games coming up here, so that's pretty much what needs to be done. You had a good win tonight. Good win. Great win. I mean, what are we talking about? It was up 30-15. You were up 30-16 in the first quarter. Timberwolves, they fought all the way back. They tied it at 44. Okay. Then there was a lot of back and forth going on, back and forth. I mean, towards the end of the second quarter, the Timberwolves were up 59-57. And then just before the buzzer sound, Harrison Barnes, we had 14 points tonight. He hit a three. So the Kings went up 60-59. It was up 60-59 at halftime. Okay, then, you come back and wow, okay. At one point, they were tied 75-75, but the Kings closed out the third quarter on an 18-7 run. 11 of those points came from Malik Monk. And by the end of the third quarter, it was 91-82, the Kings. And, of course, Timberwolves, they fought all the way back. Jaden McDaniel, he gave them a 1-point lead at 96-95. And that was off of a 14-4 run, completed a 14-4 run. And they fought all the way down to, I'm not going to give you the whole full game summary, but they ended the fourth quarter 115-115 in regulation. So then Kings got cooking again behind Malik Monk. Well, great win. Great win. I'm not going to go too much more about the game. The Kings should be heading on here back to Sacramento. I wouldn't expect that they would practice tomorrow on a Saturday, but I would look forward on a Sunday. And if not, we definitely will see them for shoot-around on Monday, the day that they play the Chicago Bulls. So we're able to get some more sound bites and some commentary from them, hopefully practice within the next 48 hours. I do want to thank everyone for tuning in for On the Cutting Room Floor. This is just a work in progress. I will be doing a lot more of this, as I will mention again and again. I'm going to change the studio around and, make it more attractive, make it more digital commentary friendly, if that means anything to y'all. But I do want to thank, for the people that tune in right now and watching this, being built, loving, some of the commentary that I get back from you guys and some of the questions that you have that I try to ask, in the same regard. So if you are new or whatever, hey, click that subscribe button, okay? Hit that like button and stuff, I think I just hit 500. I'm trying to go to 1,000, 1,500, 2,000, build my family. Let's just put it like that. For the people who've been tuning in and the people that I see down there at Golden One Center, that know what's going on, with my reporting. I love you all. I appreciate y'all. I do. But I'm going to wind this down. You should be hearing from me in the next couple of days. Understand that, when I'm covering the home games, it's really extremely difficult to try to put out some type of digital commentary because I'm trying to supply NBC Sports Radio with audio content. And sometimes, I'm doing things with Associated Press, whenever. And then, I'm trying to do things, for y'all. So I'm doing a lot of things, okay? So I'm probably the only one, that's bouncing around from both locker rooms, the opposing team locker room, and of course, the Sacramento Kings locker room and their press conferences and pre-game press conferences and post-game press conferences, And I enjoy my work. Understand that, I'm the reporter. And that's what I do. Thanks for tuning in. Okay. Peace and love and solidarity. I am out. Signing off.